1 year ago, when the refugee crisis started emerging here in Europe, I had one question in mind. How can I help? And all over Europe, all over Germany, probably all over the room here at TED today, we're asking ourselves the same question. How can I help? What I did was to go out and visit one of the 90 refugee homes here in Berlin, to have a closer look, to really try to understand where is the challenge. And they showed me their donation room. It was an old swimming pool, completely covered in clothes, in shoes, in books, in blankets from very generous people. But imagine you were a mother looking for a shoe for your child. If you were lucky, you would find the right size, but you would only find one. You wouldn't find the other shoe. So I asked myself, how can we help? Because me alone will not make a difference. And I got together a group of my friends, innovators, creators, people working in startup, to start develop ideas. Hundreds of ideas. But if you look very, very closely at the picture, you'll see there's a problem here. There was no refugees taking part in this brainstorm. And this is a problem that is being faced again and again by corporations, by foundations, by really well-meaning people. We sit down and we develop ideas together, but there's no refugees taking part, and we need to change that. That was my lesson learned. So then we went back to the drawing board and said, so really, how can we help? I went out to another refugee home to celebrate the end of Ramadan. And here I met Mohammed. Mohammed had studied computer science for 3 years at Baghdad University. He then arrived in Germany, and since he arrived, he wasn't able to continue his studies. He wasn't allowed to continue programming simply because he was lacking a laptop. And I thought, this can't be. Here we have a young, talented man who has a skill that is so sorely needed by German industry. If you ask any leader of a startup company in Berlin, the one thing that they're looking for is somebody who can help them program the next app. And here we had Mohammed, and all he wanted was to study computer science and get a job in the IT industry. And that's when the idea came to mind. What if we were to start a programming school for refugees, teaching them how to code? In December, we did the first pilot test with 13 students, and in February this year, we were able to launch the first courses together with 42 students. And what you see here is a picture from the first workshop we did. And what you might notice is there's actually not a computer inside, because we believe that learning to code is not just about the ability to write beautiful code. It's about developing a problem-solving mindset to come up with societal, solutions for society. So let me give you some examples. Here, imagine you could download an app called Let's Integrate that allows newcomers to Berlin to connect with Germans, with expats, over a shared interest in sport or music, cinema, you name it. But this is not just an idea. Please meet Khaled and his team. Khaled is right now working on making Let's Integrate into a real app. You can already join them on Facebook. And they are so cool that they have even developed a hand sign, Let's Integrate. So if you see anyone do it back. Another good idea from some of our students is German bureaucracy games. Now, in the gaming industry, challenges are fun. When you're dealing with the Lageso, challenges are not fun. So we asked the simple question, what would it take for German bureaucracy to be transparent and fun? And this was the answer, an app that lets you gamify your way through the Lageso system. And here is a group working on it. Some of the students are here today, so please share your ideas and thoughts with them afterwards. You'll recognize them from the picture. And please meet Rami. Here, Rami is having a conversation with a fellow coder by the name of Mark Zuckerberg. And what Mark and Rami are discussing is how Rami is communicating with his mother back home in Aleppo. She likes for him to text every day to say that he's doing well, but what is even better is to have a video conversation. But imagine in the future that through virtual reality, through the use of, for instance, Oculus Rift, they could have a real connection and have a proper conversation with each other, even though they're miles and miles apart. And this, to me, really summarizes the beauty of what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect technology with humanity to make a real difference. Now to the big question, how can you help? First of all, I want each and every one of you to please look beyond the undignified images that we see in the media. Let's stop talking about refugees as one group. They are a big group of individuals. We need to stop talking about refugees, and instead, we need to start talking with refugees. But even more so, we need to start developing ideas together, and we need to start building solutions together to hack the refugee crisis. Thank you.